What's up, everybody?
What's going on?
This is Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are La Lido Loca, and it's Tuesday Night Live.
Yes.
Tuesday Night Live, Tuesday Night Cruise Talk, back from Alaska. If you Alaska me where I've been, I'll tell you I've been in Alaska.
Where's the boom boom boom?
Bum. Jenny B.
Yes, Anthony.
Welcome back.
Well, thank you.
It's so good. Man, it was really nice to spend a week with you and my brother and sister-in-law in Alaska.
Mm-hmm.
There's something fresh about the air there.
It's so lovely.
So lovely. Welcome to the show, everybody. This show can take many forms. Certainly, it will be us talking about some of our adventures. I do have a cruise announcement later, a trip announcement for both of us later. Mm-hmm. But we do want to answer your cruise questions. If you have a question, when it seems like I'm looking over at the chat, type the word question or make some sort of mark so that your comment is highlighted. Sometimes it's hard to see all the comments. So if you have a question, just indicate it with a question. Try to answer your cruise questions. And we'll talk about stuff and things going forward.
That's right.
And if you don't mind, please hit the like button. That's your only homework.
Please do it right now.
It's your homework for today. I would like to see by 9:30, I think we can get to 500 likes. That's what I think.
Okay.
So, Retro Sarge is in the house. He's saying that Alaska was off the chain.
Yes. It was. I just love Alaska.
What's your favorite thing about going to Alaska?
I think just the fresh air. Like, you could just breathe.
Yeah.
And it's just crisp, and it's, I don't know.
All I need is the air that I breathe and a love song. Yeah. That Alaska air is great. It was so funny when we flew back to Tampa. We had a late night flight, so we boarded the plane at 9. What was really disconcerting was our flight was delayed. And for about 45 minutes before we boarded the plane, there was a dude on a stepladder up under the front landing gear. And they're like, we've got a maintenance hold on the plane. And if you look out the window here, you'll just see some random dude with a wrench and a stepladder going at the front landing gear. And then so when they came on and said everything was good, I'm like, is it good?
I'm praying it's good because you're letting us on that airplane.
But what is wild is it was so crisp and so clean and so fresh in Seattle and Alaska.
Right.
When we got off that plane in Tampa, like at 8 a.m. the next morning, it was horrible. Like humidity.
You got that Caribbean humidity.
I was like, somebody get me back inside, quick. So we've been home for 14 days. And then on the 3rd or 2nd of July, our son Gregory came home, and we endeavored into some large projects of going to IKEA and building a bed and building some shelving and all that kind of stuff. And then our daughter Marissa came over on the 4th of July with her husband Jacob, and then we had a whole house full of people on the 4th of July. And a lot of people, Marissa and Jacob, stayed through the weekend. So it feels like we went from just our cruise to hosting a bunch of people. Mm-hmm. And so this week sort of is just you and I.
That's right.
Just you and I sharing our love together. Yeah, so it's good to kind of have some normalcy, and normalcy indeed, because it's Tuesday Night Live.
That's right.
That's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. There was a super chat before the show started, and YouTube now has a cool feature where it's easy to recall those. So let me take a moment to thank Mary L. Harwood. Thank you, Mary, for the super chat. It says, hi, Tony and Jenny. Get to go to Alaska next year. Would you recommend the train excursion in Skagway? No,
so I've not done that, so I don't. You've done that.
I don't think I've done it in a way that's appropriate. So the first year that I went to Alaska was right after COVID ended.
Right.
And or COVID was still going on. Either way, the shutdown was still somewhat in effect. And I did the train excursion, but it couldn't go all the way to Canada. And so we just went up the mountain and we came back. It wasn't the full route. I found it to be boring. I didn't like it. And but this last trip, so many people, we crashed the Sharon at Sea group cruise. They had about 85 people, and I think they filled up like half a train car. And everybody that I talked to that went on that excursion really liked it.
They really loved it.
So I don't know that I'm the one to say definitively whether to go or not, but it seems like a lot of people like it. So I would say, therefore, try it out for yourself to to see whether you like it or not.
And let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
How fun was it to hang out with the community?
Oh, it was great. So the nice thing about that scenario, and let me say that Jamie and Sharon and John from the Ship Show, Larry from the Ship Show, York from the Ship Show, those guys really do group cruising well. They do it differently. They do it differently than us, but they do it in a way that's so engaging. And it was really cool to be a part of it. It was really nice for us because we were there with my brother, Chris, and my sister-in-law, Heidi. And so we had the kind of the glorious pleasure of being able to hang out as a foursome and do stuff together and then integrate into the larger group from time to time. So that was really nice, and it was really cool to see so many people that we know that are in the chat. Big shout out to everybody that we got to hang out with face-to-face. And yeah, it was cool. I like crashing the group cruise. Hint, foreshadowing that the cruise announcement later may be another group cruise that is not ours. So, Bryn Creekmore, thank you so much for the super sticker. Sure do appreciate it. Let's see. Shane Nordgren, question: did you experience the White Nights? I'm not sure what that is, but if you're talking about the sunshine and if you're talking about the White Night party, dance party on the cruise ship, did not do that. But it was dang light in Alaska into the evening almost every night.
Yeah.
Like it would be 11 o'clock and it would still be full on sunshine and you're like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
And so that was pretty wild.
Hey, Michael. Hope you're doing good. So Michael Wagner has a question.
Yeah.
Tony, you said you use... Oh, what is my chat? Tony, you said you use your phone to film on excursions. Do you use a separate phone or your personal phone?
So I use my personal phone, which I've contemplated... maybe using an older phone that we own already just for filming. But yeah, so I'm just using basically this iPhone and taking pictures, doing video, all that kind of stuff. It works out pretty good. I was also carrying in my I have a bag that I carry, small bag, and I also carry like my Insta360 camera. But for the most part, everything I filmed was with my phone. There were some times on the video, though, where the wind noise was getting me, so I do need a little better solution for the audio, but I love the convenience of just filming with the phone. So pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Aw. Hello, Tess. Mrs. Almond Milk.
Tess Almond Milk was on that cruise. It was good to see Tess. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Great time. Oh, 871 people are here. We have 398 thumbs ups. I think we can get to 500 by 9:30. So crush that like button if you don't mind. Crush it. Crush it. Gosh, so much has happened. I don't know what to talk about. That place that we stayed in Seattle was pretty interesting.
Oh, the Edgewater.
The Edgewater. So that's kind of a rock and roll hotel. I didn't even realize that. It's weird because it's like a lodge and it smells like burning fire, like campfire. I don't like that. I don't like it, but it was an interesting. It was an interesting hotel that many famous rock and rollers have stayed at. The Beatles had stayed there. Led Zeppelin had stayed there. They had like a whole wall of fame of all these people that had stayed there. Ludacris had stayed there. So it was shout out Luda. I didn't see Luda on the wall of fame. Shout out Luda. But it was pretty neat because there's a picture of the Beatles hanging out of one of the windows at the Edgewater.
Right.
And we kind of were able to do the same thing.
It was pretty neat.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cool things that we learned in Seattle this time. But the Edgewater was, the location was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that the hotel was really beautiful.
The room
nice.
was small. I don't know.
So the room was small.
Look, it was expensive.
But it had like a fireplace in the room. The shower was cool. But if you fall,
It was one of those hotels where you had to pay like the valet to park your car. So
yeah, that was expensive.
It was wild. It was like in and out. Like you could get your car out, but you were tipping every time. It was kind of more fancy than what I was used to, but it was nice.
Right.
It was nice.
But they built it.
Yeah.
So the Beatles.
They built it for like they built
it for the world.
They built it for the World's Fair, but they didn't get it done in time.
Right, but the Beatles enjoyed staying there.
Yeah.
Because the women couldn't swim around.
They tried. The women tried to swim up to them. It's pretty wild. Sean Barton, Team Barton in the house. What's up, you guys?
What's going on?
Team Barton in the building as fellow influencers with 16 to 17 followers. We cannot wait to see you both on the group cruise. Question, what is the worst costume you've seen on a Halloween cruise? Probably something that I put together. Like last year I was like apathetic Dr. Evil or something like that. All the costumes are great. I think anybody that puts it out there and puts on a costume, I don't think I would ever call them a bad costume.
Right.
Yeah. So.
I know I don't like the scary ones or
Right.
certain things like that, but they're all wonderful.
Yeah. Shout out to the Blue Crew. Got everybody in here taking care of business. If you act up, the Blue Crew will smack you down. So if you're into that, you can get one smack down once. Sean is an influencer, though. I'm just going to say that.
He is.
I'm looking for. I haven't seen
Love
the.
him.
I missed the Bartons. It's been a minute, so I can't wait to see you guys. Paper City Jeff. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Kathy Ellis, Uber or taxi to cruise port? Any particular cruise port? If you're talking about Seattle, we rented a car on the front end in Seattle, and it was a nightmare to get the car. But once we got the car, it was fine. I would say, like, if we did it again, there's actually a rental car place kind of near the waterfront. I would have Ubered.
Right.
I would have Ubered to the rental car place, but from the hotel, you could Uber right to the cruise port. I think it's going to be cheaper, and they can drop you off pretty much at the front of the cruise terminal. However, when you leave the cruise in Seattle, they make you walk almost a half a mile or a mile to get to the rideshare spots. They give the taxis
And that's that pier.
It's just that pier.
It's not the NCL pier.
Not the NCL pier, right? The NCL pier, they can drop you right off. So if you're at the Princess Holland Carnival Royal Pier, you can't get quickly to the Uber. So I would say taxi in that scenario. I'm not sure if you're talking about Seattle at all, but it is a little bit interesting that way. Let's see. Sugar says, do we have our costume ready for the group cruise? Not at all.
No,
we never do. It's always a last minute kind of thing. So.
Exactly.
But I'm going to be trying to work on the group cruise t-shirt coming up. So that's the first thing on the priority list. Chuck Spencer, thank you so kindly for the super chat. Been missing his Triple L live family. Stuck at work, so I missed the early show. Chuck, we're glad to have you. Yeah, it's.
And we'll see Chuck in October.
We were looking at it. We were talking about it in the earlier show tonight that I think I was only home one day in June.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then a lot of the other months. So.
Well, I'm so glad to see you.
Kiss my face. Kiss me. Kiss my face. Kiss my boo-boo. Man, I slammed my head into the fridge today. It's crazy. Bill Matson. Yeah, Bill Matson. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Hey, Bill.
Question. Thoughts on the transportation strikes that are pending in Europe? I hear Italy air traffic control is scheduled out to strike on 7/15. That sounds bad. I don't know much about it, but certainly if you are going to a country where the strikes are happening, what was nice is I was in the UK during one of the train strikes, and they're kind of polite about it in the UK. Like, they'll strike one day, but they won't strike the next day. So maybe they'll be kind about it where you're going. But yeah, I would just say if you're going to a country and you hear about these strikes, pay attention and be prepared. Of course, for that international travel, I'd try to bake in an extra day anyways. Thank you, Bill, for the super chat. Rick Wade, thank you for the super chat. 11 days till embarkation on the President's Cruise on the Allure in Galveston.
That's going to be a great one.
That's exciting. So I really want to do... Maybe it'll be 2024, but I feel like we should go maybe early 2024 because the weather will be cooler. I think we could go spend a few weeks. I just spit all over myself. I think we could go spend a few weeks in Galveston, go see the new Royal Terminal, and then cruise the Jubilee. So, like, do a Royal cruise and then cruise the Jubilee.
Right.
And definitely on Carnival because I'm platinum now and you're not. So, I think that's probably the highlight of the trip for me.
He's such a...
I mean, I knew I had to catch some grief on it. Man, when we got on the Carnival Spirit and I ripped open... I spit in my mouth. I ripped open our envelope that held the key cards for Carnival, and well, Jenny's card was a bright yellow, and mine was platinum. I went platinum selling rhymes, and all I could do was meekly enter the cabin and say, "Hey, baby,
I love you.
Just remember that we love each other, and there isn't anything we can't overcome together because we are the dynamic duo. We're the team that kicks A in a big way. There's the teamwork makes the dream work, baby." And she's like, "What?" And I'm like, "I got a platinum card. How about that?" And she was like, I had to sleep out in the hall for the first night, which I thought. But the cool thing is if you sleep in the hall and you're platinum, they'll bring you a cot. That's one of the benefits.
And they'll do your laundry.
They'll do your laundry while you're wearing your clothes, sleeping on a cot in the hall. But so on the group cruise, you'll be platinum.
Yes.
Yeah, so it'll all turn out well, but it was a little
good.
contentious there for a minute.
Well, I got to share in your perks, so it was lovely.
That's right. Rick Wade says Galveston's where it's happening. We've cruised out of Galveston one time on the Carnival Vista. It was during bike week, and we didn't really disembark very well, so we had a little bit of a challenging time. But I think if we're going to make the effort to get to Texas, we should spend a couple weeks there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd like to go up to Austin. Maybe we can make it a land and sea, like Alaska. Tamara, thank you so much for the super sticker. Very kind. And then Gigi Cakes has a question for you, Yenny B. When will Royal release the 2025 cruise schedule beyond April 2025?
What are we in, July? Maybe 3 months?
Nice.
Yeah.
3 months from now? Mm-hmm. All right, back to the live chat. Frank Zappa was at the Edgewater. Frank Zappa and the Mothers.
It was an interesting... I know you didn't like the hotel. I kind of liked it.
I don't like the smell of campfire. Shy's art question: which cruise line would you suggest for a solo senior female who loves the luxury?
So Celebrity has some solo cabins, and so does Royal.
I'd say Celebrity is more luxurious.
Yeah.
You just made me think of Green Acres. New York is where I'd rather stay. I get allergic smelling. So Celebrity, that's what we're thinking. Celebrity. What cruise are we on in October? Please say the Glory, 29th of October. It'd be great to meet you. Shane, we're on the Glory on the 29th of October. I'm saying it.
We are on
I'm
Carnival,
saying it just because you wanted me to say
October
it.
October 29th, but it's on the celebration.
Celebrate good time. Come on. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. We have to cancel our next cruise. How do we break the news to our travel agent nicely? Just say it. Just rip the Band-Aid off. Travel agents are used to it. Cruises get canceled. Cruises
we change
get
them
booked.
Around all the time.
That's
it's
right.
All good.
No worries.
Kathy Ellis, Celebrity is her spirit animal.
That's right. All right. When we get to 9:30, I'll make the announcement.
Interesting.
Let's see what we got. We're at 634 likes. Look, I'm going to revise my like prediction. I thought we would just get to 500. You guys you're outstanding. I almost said a curse word. You guys are fantastic. I think we could get to 1,000 likes before the end of the show. But maybe by 9:30. Let's get it done.
So Emily has a good question. Can you give, we're going to come out with this though, but we'll do a video. Can you give some pros and cons of the Carnival Spirit? Want to do one and one?
Yeah.
All right. So I'll do a positive.
Okay.
So their location, they have, first of all, 2 coffee bars.
That is nice.
One of them, the coffee bar on 2, the location is perfect. There's a lot of seats to just sit down and relax after you get your coffee.
Yeah. So that's a positive. I would say the negative, so the ship is a little dated. The common public areas are very well maintained. But when it comes to the cabins, probably maybe a little more challenging to maintain all the little details. So this is real nitpicky, right? You're looking for a con. Like the pulls on the closets. They had these brown pulls that you would open the closets with. A lot of the brown paint were missing, so the pulls would be partially
the plastic. Yeah.
The plastic could be worn out, so you could see. That's really nitpicky. There was rust on the balcony, but that's pretty common for older Carnival ships.
Right.
What I really liked about that ship, though, is it had a very funky decor. That ship was a lot of fun by the way it was designed. Here's the thing. This was a very port-intensive stop. We got off at every stop in Alaska. We went out and enjoyed it. We made those videos. I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. It was fun. But because of that, a lot of the time that we spent on the ship, we spent, sharing time together, hanging out with the Sharing at Sea crew, going to dinner, going to the casinos, going to the shows. The filming of that ship was not a priority. So when we came home, it's like, well, will we be able to do a review? Will we really be able to do a ship tour? And I went, well, I didn't film anything on the ship. But fortunately, there is a knight in shining armor. Our friend Doug Parker has graciously given me footage of the Carnival Spirit. So hopefully over the next few days, we'll be able to develop a decent review of that ship and then maybe a ship tour, all thanks to we could do it without the visuals, but it's not as impactful without the visuals. So I'm very excited that Doug has sent us 8 gig worth of footage to use, so that's kind of exciting. So yeah, we'll have more to say about the Carnival Spirit. We enjoyed it, but again, it is an older ship, and she's showing her age a little bit.
Yeah.
I tell you what, though, I'll go out on. I'll say this: Jake was fun, the cruise director.
Oh,
Jake it easy. You got to Jake it easy. That was great. I love anybody with a good catchphrase. I'm a sucker for a catchphrase. You got to Jake it easy. And then the entertainment. Now, I get annoyed that they have not changed the welcome show. I think the welcome show that I saw on the Spirit is the same welcome show I saw on the Carnival Fantasy in 2017. It would not surprise me. But that crew there, that cast that was on the Spirit. They were very talented, good singers, good dancers, and they put on, I think they put on 4 or 5 shows, which you don't see that on a lot of other places. So that was kind of nice. Kind of nice. Naughty Cruiser Vlogs. What's up, Mike? How was the Tracy Arm Fjord? I'll be on the Luminosa in 16 days. It was neat. So our experience with fjords and glaciers previously from the cruise ship had only been going to the Glacier Bay National Park. And at the Glacier Bay National Park, they can take that cruise ship all the way to the end of the fjord and get a really good look at the Marjorie Glacier to the fact that they will turn the ship in 360 degrees and everybody gets a good view of the glacier. I don't think that was true for the Tracy Arm Fjord. We went a certain amount of distance and then the cruise ship stopped and you really couldn't see the glacier from there. Like going through the fjord was really neat, but we did not get to the I think it's the South Sawyer Glacier at the mouth of the Tracy Arm Fjord. So we were very fortunate. We made a last-minute decision. I think it's spent $239 each to go on the small boat to the front of that glacier. That was well worth the money. We were within a half mile of the front of that glacier, but I don't know that you're going to be able to see the glacier from the ship. So that's interesting. I don't know if anybody else has been on or been on just a ship up the Tracy Arm Fjord. Could you see the glacier? We really couldn't from the Spirit. Let's see. I was just looking for more questions. There's one. Question: why is avocado toast with everything bagel seasoning so delicious? Thanks for the suggestion.
That is
I don't know,
one.
Brian. Like, it's
so good.
It is the best. It is the best. Are you buying like the Sabra spread? It's so easy to make too. You can buy that. We're using the Einstein everything bagel seasoning. So good. So good. Let's see. Joe, the computer guy, said they did not see the glacier from the Luminosa. So. Yeah, Julie Thomas, I did not know that Jake was on the Mardi Gras during our group cruise in Halloween. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think he's a fairly new cruise director, so it's kind of fun. Yeah. Kathleen, this is a great question. Did the casino still have a bar? They removed it on the Pride in the recent dry dock. They still had a bar.
Yeah.
They had a bar. Yeah, they did. They had a nice bar in the casino there. Let me just say this. We gambled pretty extensively, like every time that the casino was open. And one of us won and one of us lost. And the win was big and the loss was big. And on the last day, when they take the little pieces of paper and they spread them around the cruise ship to give you a casino offer, everybody on the cruise ship, I feel like, got a casino offer but us.
So weird.
I don't know. Look, I got a weird conspiracy that's not true at all. There's no rationale in it. But we get casino offers from Prince's. I got casino offer from Holland. Maybe they just want me to cruise on those lines.
Celebrity.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking inside the Carnival family. So it's crazy. But yeah. All right, 7 minutes to the big announcement. Enraged Bacon. I love that name.
I like that name.
Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Jenny, Tony. Ever since I started cruising, I always use your recommendations and videos to help plan our family vacation.
Thank you.
What's your opinion on celebrity stopping at Coco Cay? We are a Royal fam. I think it's great. I mean, it's smart, in my opinion, for Royal to leverage that island as much as possible. They made a big investment in it. I think if you surveyed people that have been to Coco Cay, I think you'll get a lot of positive feedback. So heck, why not? Instead of having a questionable experience going to a port that everybody might not like, why not go to that private island? So I think that's exciting.
Well, and I have some different feelings on it. I think, like you said, I think it's nice. It's their island. They control it. So yeah, why don't you bring in celebrities so we can compete with the other family, like Disney?
Yeah.
You know, those sort of things. But, celebrity, most of the time, when you think of celebrity, you don't think of it being a family.
Right.
Like a family cruise line. So I don't know how it's going to affect them in the long run.
Nice. Nautical Nurse Nancy, did we participate in the Sharon at Sea stuff? Not a ton. That was the beautiful thing about it. Like, we were able to, participate in what we wanted to participate. I think I was the master of ceremonies at the Lido Olympics, which was a really cool event. But the goal for us was to really hang out, Jenny and I, because we hadn't cruised together in a little bit, hang out with my brother and the Queen of Deutschland, and then just run into so many familiar people, just meet people, that kind of thing. But Sharon at Sea, like I said, I might have said it already in this show, they put on a crazy good group cruise. If you guys want to go be locked in with doing some crazy stuff on a group cruise, go check out Sharon at Sea because they do it right. They do it right. I like it. Let's see. Question, any plans to cruise to Greenland on the Carnival Legend Journey Cruise? Together We Travel, we don't have that plan. I would like to go to Greenland, Iceland, some of those places, but nothing booked yet, which is, that's the way it goes sometimes. Let me make sure I didn't miss out on any of these things that are popping. What's popping? Kelsey, thank you so much for the super chat. I love y'all. Thanks for the content. Thank you so much for the super chat. Jeffrey Wagner, thank you for the super sticker. Kitty Ray, what is up, Kitty?
Kitty!
How the heck you doing? Thank you so much for the super sticker. Is Kitty on Halloween? Will we see Kitty this year? All right, I can't wait to see Kitty.
We will.
Kitty is one of my favorite casino people and favorite dinner buddies. So.
Well, and it's so funny because when I was on the Spirit, Kitty gave me the best little gift on last year on the group cruise on Horizon. But it's just a little, and I'm sure you've seen it around the house. It's a little, is it duct tape? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Little duct tape.
Yeah.
And I missed it on the Spirit because she showed me the trick. You put your duct tape on the button for the hairdryer. So you don't have to keep your finger there.
That is a good hack. Let's see. Kathleen with a question. Will I make a 10:30 flight from Seattle cruising on Carnival Spirit Alaska? We're Diamond and we will get our own transportation. We got off of the ship like at 7:15. So
what ship?
The Spirit. So yeah, they started maybe even earlier. I think it was in the 6 o'clock hour that they started letting people off. That's kind of tight, 10:30.
And it was quick.
It was quick.
Yeah.
I think you're going to have to hustle the whole way. That would be a little too close for my comfort. But, again, you can hustle over there. I mean, but we had a line at the airport when we got there. So,
It's Seattle Airport. I wouldn't do anything until after 12.
Yeah, it sounds like it's booked already. If you don't have it booked already, book something in the afternoon. But if you have it booked, we will cross our fingers for you.
Yeah, unless you have the TSA.
TSA's helpful,
right? Because weren't there people there that were early flights and they were online for 3-4 hours?
Yeah. That was crazy. Shane Nordgren, thank you so much for the super chat. Sailing the Spirit August the 24th, lucked out and got a bowling alley balcony. Looking forward to glacier watching. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I don't know what a bowling alley balcony is. Do you know what that is?
A bowling what?
A bowling alley balcony. Maybe it's just long.
Maybe.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's even if you can't see the glacier, so much of that cruising was beautiful. We saw whales off of the ship. It was. I asked the question, I think, in the earlier show. Let me ask it here. Jenny, that was your third week in Alaska. Are you done with Alaska?
Never.
No, we're going back.
We're going back.
Next year, we're going to go back on Holland America. How about that? That'd be fun.
And we have to stay out there for a little bit.
I think we have to do a couple weeks next year.
Yeah.
Daniel Aid, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for all your cruise news videos and lives. You're a hoot. Love watching your live sailaways. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Daniel.
Russell Yealy.
Russell and
What's
Darlene.
up? What's up, you guys?
How are you?
Thank you so much for the super chat. It's great to see you also. Question from Kathy Ellis. Did you do the Lumberjack show in Ketchikan? We did not this time. We did the Duck tour in Ketchikan, but I did go to the Lumberjack show last year. I like it. I recommend it. It was a good show. It's fun. It feels a lot like if you've ever been to the Smoky Mountains, like Pigeon Forge, it feels like a show out there, or Branson, that kind of thing. But I think you get good value for the money there. Question from Bradley Dean. What are your thoughts on going on a cruise and then doing the exact same cruise next year? It depends. So I feel like I've done the same itinerary multiple times. Almost every time I go to the Caribbean, we're going to the same itinerary. I like it in Alaska. Alaska's nice. There's always something new to do in Skagway, Ketchikan, Juneau, and then there's other places you can go there. Icy Strait Point, Sitka. I think it's good.
just don't get tired of looking
I haven't got tired of it yet. Once we get tired of it, it'll be crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Minnesota Mickey, wow. Thank you for the super chat.
You're so fine. You blow our mind.
Very kind. Oh my gosh. Hi, my favorite peeps. I finally caught a live. You look effing fantastic.
Thank you, dear.
It's Jenny. I'm just reflecting her beauty.
Well, you got a nice haircut today.
Yeah, high and tight. Miss cruising so much, still dealing with my knee issues, but I have a question. I'm a Zoom member or whatever. Oh, it jumped. Whatever I have called, never gotten a link to join the Zoom. Yeah, there'll be a Zoom this month, so keep watching over on the Patreon side, and that way you'll get a link to it, and we can see you face to face. I
can't wait to see you again.
Yeah, so we do have a Patreon if anybody's interested on extra content. When we're home, we do an extra live stream. So we did a live stream at 8 p.m. And then we also have Zoom calls, that kind of thing. So just something out there if you want anything extra. But, of course, we do this show, too. So you get us in your face. Terry Gallant, what's going on? This is my favorite notification squad leader. Terry, man, he went on a streak where he hit it like 100 times in a row. Question for you, Jenny. Do you think Port Canaveral hotel prices will get out of control?
They already are, some of them.
Yeah.
Like where we used to stay, I think it's up at least 50%. It went from 189 to over 300, so that's about 50%.
Jenny, I was in a good mood. But then I saw Just Cody's question.
What is it?
So, Just Cody, is Carnival...
Thank you for the super chat.
Thank you for the super chat, Just Cody. Is Carnival still only serving bacon for breakfast every other day?
I couldn't...
Yeah. Yeah, the bacon is still on vacation on Carnival. This is... Maybe I'm too spoiled. I came off of Holland America. I came off of Princess. Every day, mounds of bacon, smoked salmon, salamis, cheese, everything you love for breakfast. They got it. And then I went over there to Carnival, and they're like, we don't have any bacon today.
What do you mean you don't have any bacon?
Now I'm distraught. I'm knocking the blue lights down.
It's breakfast. You don't have bacon?
Yeah, I know. The thing is, like, Carnival is a good value. I understand why they do it, but it is weird not to have, like, a smoked salmon option. It's weird not to have bacon on the daily, but they have a lot of choices over there.
Listen, I may get some hate on this. But
their bacon's still good.
Their bacon's not good anyway.
Yeah, so. That's the other thing that they do. They give you bacon every other day, and it's bacon. You're like, is this really?
Is this bacon?
Is this bacon? Because how are you cooking this? It doesn't seem like bacon. But yeah, that's the way it goes. Yep. So every other day on the bacon. But
Michael Anthony Giovanni, what's going on, sir?
Man, this thing just jumped. Question: did you have good weather in Alaska? I've been 3 times. The weather's always seemed cool and rainy. Bad luck. Greg Parks. I don't know. I've been very lucky through all my travels this year.
It was a little chilly in Seattle.
It was awesome though.
But yeah, it was just nice and crisp, and especially with us coming from Florida, where it's so hot and humid at this time of year, it was a nice, refreshing 10 days.
What I love about Alaska is I wore short sleeves. It was appropriately cool. Mm-hmm. I could breathe. I can't breathe here. I take the allergy medicine. This is what you hear on the video. See, I'm not exerted or anything right now. I just can't breathe through my nose and my mouth. And then if I'm talking over a camera, it sounds like that. It's not like that in Alaska. As soon as I got back to Florida, we got off the plane at 8 o'clock in the morning. We were hit by a wave of humidity, and I was thinking, somebody just kill me now. Why did we move to Florida? It is so freaking humid down here. But it's nice when it's cold other places, but in the middle of the summer when it's hot.
July and August are definitely,
Yeah,
it's anywhere. You couldn't breathe in Tennessee or North Carolina.
That's
either.
true. So we have to move to Alaska. That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Traveling Grands, how much is the TSA pre-check? $79, and it's good for 5 years.
Best $79.
Best $79 we've ever spent. Question from Tess. I'm maybe flying to Spain in June 2024 for a reunion of people I went to high school with. What cruise from Barcelona should I take after? Any of them. Get on that med. Go around. I don't know. It's still a tough question. Do you want to go? Do you want to go to Greece and the front side of Italy, or do you want to go on to the Croatia side of Italy? I think any of them. I don't know what's available there, Tess, but I don't think any of them is going to do you wrong.
Well, I was going to suggest NCL, but I know that's not one of our favorite, but MSC is real good too.
MSC is huge over there. Yeah.
Like they're the number one in Europe, so.
Joe wants to know if we've ever taken the Horizon. We have. I really like. So.
That Vista class.
I like the Vista class. I like the Vista, the Horizon, the Panorama. We've been on all three of them. Those are great ships with a great layout. They've got good food options. You can't go wrong on that. I do think I like I think the Celebration is my favorite Carnival cruise ship. As far as the modern cruise ships, I still like some of these old cruise ships.
I like Celebration a lot, but their casino chairs, they have to do something with those.
Yeah.
So the casino was much better on the Mardi Gras.
Yes. All right, 907.
Texas Torpedo.
907 likes. If we can get to 1,000 likes, I will tell you what cruise I booked yesterday. Big cruise announcement, big road trip announcement for Jenny B. But we got to get to 1,000. Now we're close enough that I'm gonna drag it out. 908. Can we get 909? We got to get to 1,000, and then I'll tell you. Then I'll tell you the news. I'll tell you the news. Texas Pepito's in the house. You said that already.
Yes.
Thoughts of Alaska cruise in October. I've never been that late. I think it's starting to get cold. I think the salmon have already spawned and died. It could be fun, but I think you're going to run into some colder weather. That's got to be NCL, because I think only NCL goes October, November. But I think kind of what's traditional is April to September. Look, I'm up for going to Alaska any month. So.
Yeah. Yeah, like I'm ready to even maybe the last week in October.
Really?
Yeah,
like this year?
No.
Oh, just next year. Check it out.
Year. Yeah,
that'd be cool. Joe wants to know when our next group cruise is. It is in October of this year, the 29th on the Celebration. Are spots limited, or is there still spots?
There's still some spots, but Ocean View is sold out. Last I checked, Interior was sold out as well.
Okay. All right. So here's a funny story.
So Mara, yes, I do plan on getting on Hal, hopefully by the end of this year.
So when we were on the Spirit, I was talking to my brother who was with me, and I was saying, hey, I love my friend Don Terrace, and I want to cruise with Don as often as possible. And he's got this group cruise, and it's going from New York up to Quebec, and it's a whole bunch of ports that I've never been on before. Jenny B she didn't want to go on it this year, but if we can swing it, I think maybe we can get a casino deal or a travel agent deal. If we can swing it, do you want to go to Quebec? Go to New York, go to Quebec. And he said yes. And then Heidi, the Queen of Deutschland, said, well, Chris can go, but only if Jenny comes and helps me watch the dogs. So a plan was hatched. Now, we talked about it a little bit on the cruise, but we knew we couldn't really look into it until we got home. And then once we got home, we immediately had family. And so it wasn't until yesterday that we were able to take a look. And so where I didn't have a casino offer on Carnival, I did have a casino offer on Princess. So for all in, so I got a free cruise, a free balcony on Princess to do Dawn's group cruise. It was a really good deal. We had to pay a $200 deposit each just to book it. So with those, and we get that back in onboard credit. So $200 each for onboard credit. So that takes us to $400. The all-in was $950. So $550 for taxes and port fees for what's essentially a $5,000 or $6,000 cruise, a balcony that. But so we're going on Dawn's group cruise, which is exciting. The irony is we booked all of that, and I don't ever watch the YouTube videos until the afternoon. So I work over here during the day. I go home, I have lunch, then I watch the videos. I get caught up with Dawn. And so I text Dawn. I said, hey, Dawn, guess what cruise my brother and I just booked? And he goes, did you watch my video? And I'm like, no, what video? He goes, did you watch Just Dawn? I said, no, I haven't been home. I haven't watched Just Dawn yet. And so it was real funny because in his video, I guess he encouraged people. I did see it. So he encouraged people to say go on his group cruise. So he manifested it. Let's just say that. So, yeah, I'm very excited. So we're going to take a road trip. It's going to be the longest trip to get to Canada ever. We're going to take a road trip to Birmingham, and then my brother and I are going to fly from Birmingham to New York, and then we have a 10-day cruise. And out of those 10 days, there's only one sea day. So it's going to be port intensive. We're going to Newport, Rhode Island, Portland, Maine, all these stops up the East Coast. I'm so excited because the mantra this year for me is to not repeat port stops and to go to, interesting destinations. So I'm going to pile a bunch more on, going to Boston. And Jenny and Heidi will be staying with the Snickerdoodles. What are those dogs called?
Now that you said that, I don't...
Aren't they a Chihuahua and Poodle mix?
No.
They're Golden Retrievers and Doodle? They're Doodles.
They're Doodles.
I don't know. Anyways, they have dogs that are bigger than people. And Jenny and Heidi are going to hang out with the dogs for 10 days and maybe do some sort of girl thing. And I think slumber party, pillow fights. I don't know. Maybe that's just in my head. But yeah, and then Chris and I are going to go on that cruise and get to hang out with DT Don Terrace and his group. And his group includes a lot of people that have gone on our group cruises. The Mary Beths, the Julies. You guys know who you are. So it's exciting.
It is exciting.
It's exciting. So there you go. That's the announcement. Bill Mattson, thank you for the super sticker to prompt the announcement. There it is. I lost everything. What did it cost you? Everything. Daniel said, what is your most unpopular cruise opinion or hot take? I think my most unpopular one is I think it's wrong when people remove the gratuities. I think that you should pay the assigned gratuities. I think it's a horrible system. But I think that if you remove the assigned gratuities, you're shorting people money. And then a complimentary hot take with that, I think that the gratuities should be included. I don't think that I should be negotiating somebody's pay wage while I'm on vacation.
Right.
Like I don't think I need to be concerned with whether people are being paid properly. And that's how the current system works. Am I tipping enough? Am I not tipping enough? Are they making enough money? Are they not making enough? Like I don't want to be working labor negotiations while I'm on vacation. But the system is what the system is. The cruise lines say if you pay the assigned gratuities, everybody that's supposed to get money gets the money they're supposed to get. And so I think my hot take is, pay the assigned gratuities. And then, of course, I'm the kind of person that if you give me a slip and it says there's a blank spot there for additional gratuities, I fill that in too. So I feel like I'm getting double dipped on, and I don't like that system. So maybe that's the hot take.
Yeah. I think they're golden doodles.
Golden doodles. Yeah. Lisa, thank you for the super chat. Any recommendation tips for a first-time transatlantic cruiser? No, just enjoy it. Like, I didn't know what to expect when I went, and it was 8 glorious sea days, sleep late, just enjoy it. Sleep late, I don't even know what to say. Like, it went by so fast, and it was so slow at the same time. Be ready. I don't know what the end of your cruise is like, if there's a lot of port days, so get rested up and just enjoy it. Thank you for the super chat.
Hello, Billy Page from Levittown. Nice to see you.
Jenny B lived in Levittown for a minute.
I did.
So we hit the 1,000. You guys rocked the Casbah. 1,500 of you guys here. Good to see you guys tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me get a drink.
Drink it up. Lube your throat, Anthony Barnett.
So.
Thank you, Verge. Thumbs up.
Question from Mel. Is the weather better in May or September for an Alaska cruise? So what I noticed was different was the whale watching. That's the only thing I'm going to say. So last year we were there in what month? August. We were there. It rained on us a lot last year, and the whale watching was different. We were there in September the first year when I went with Dawn, and the whale watching was different. It was a little rainy. It was a little cold. And then we were there this year in June, and the whale watching was different. So the first year I went, I was able to see orca. I think that was a fluke. The second year that I went, we saw the bubble feeding of the...
that was so amazing.
That was amazing. And then this year we just saw the whale sticking its tail up. So I think there's some different things with the wildlife, right? Like if you go late in the year, the salmon have already spawned, and maybe the bears have already gone into hibernation. So it's just different times of the year. I think you're fine either way. We've been there though when it's been hot. Like I got sunburned in Ketchikan last year, so it's a weird situation up there. I guess the big takeaway when you go to Alaska, make sure you take clothes that you can layer. Take a short sleeve, take a long sleeve, take a light jacket, take a heavy jacket, take some waterproof shoes, take some waterproof overwear. So yeah, it's real interesting. George in Atlanta, earlier vid, keep influencing and don't suffer the fools. Yeah, again, I don't think we've ever referred to ourselves as influencers or anything like that. At the end of the day, like I really feel like, so I like my mantra, my mission statement is to create something from nothing that, entertains and educates on a daily basis. for me, I'm a clown, right? I'm a performer. I'm also an educator. That's the way I think of it. Possibly we do influence people, and that's fine, but it's not the moniker that I present with, right? So I'm not like showing up like I'm here to be your influencer, that kind of thing. So it's an interesting conversation. The comments are very interesting on that video. I feel like influencer has such a negative connotation, but it's the reality of the world that we live in. I mean, if you look at some celebrities that get paid millions of dollars to have a water bottle in their Instagram feed, it's a real thing that's in the world. So there must be some merit to the fact that if some famous person holds a water bottle, that millions of people will buy that water bottle. So I don't know what that says about our society, but that's the world that we live in. So. Greg Parks, I prepaid the gratuities and tip extra on board for bartenders, dinner servers, room servers, etc. Is the additional tipping customary or optional? The additional tipping is optional. I mean, the cruise lines have come out and said, we've gone to this assigned gratuities so that people get what they're supposed to get. But if you want to do extra, do extra. So, I mean, it's I believe that if you have the ability to be generous, be generous. But again, it's a weird can of worms that you've opened there that all of a sudden you're halfway curious as to whether or not the people are getting enough money, if that's the way it is. So,
right.
Karen Jordan, thank you for the compliment. Not a clown, a great comedian. I'm okay being a clown too. Like I have a lot of respect for clowns and I juggle, that kind of thing. So when I say I'm a clown, I don't say that in a deprecating way, but I think all of it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Is the casino? This is interesting. Dave E. Is the casino closed a lot on Alaska cruise, or is it normal operations? So during the week, it's normal, right? Like when you're at the port, of course it's closed, and as soon as you leave, it's open. I feel like it was normal, but that last day on an Alaskan cruise, and it didn't matter what line we were on. Like this past one, they were only open on the last day 9 to 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah, so that Canada stop is a weird deal. So again, I caught a little bit of grief for saying that I was forced to go to Canada, but really I was trying to lay a commentary out there about this U.S. law that's a really old law. It's a protectionist law. And because of that, we are somewhat forced to go to Canada. I love Canada. Didn't really have anything to do with Canada.
Right.
But it's a bummer that this law, because it's a forced law, we only spent like 3 hours in Victoria and everything was closed. So it seemed like a missed opportunity for travelers to go to this great city that was closed. And so, and the other thing that was weird is it does throw off the casino aspect of it, because we're going to this port stop late at night on the last day of the cruise, then the casino shuts down early. So that was kind of weird.
Hey, Reed and Cheryl, hope you guys doing well.
Wow, Cruise Radio coming in. Look, I've been bragging on you, Doug, for letting us use that Carnival Spirit footage, and now you're here with the super chat. What's going on? Thank you,
Doug. So nice
Doug.
of you. Thank you, Doug.
Look, I'm just going to love back on Doug. If you want the cruise news at 7 a.m. every morning, maybe 6 or 7 a.m., Doug has it for you. Like, he's consistent as a clock that doesn't have to be wound. Like, the guy gets it done. So make sure you go check out Doug at Cruise Radio. Had such a good time cruising with Doug for those 20-something days on the transatlantic. And I kind of blame Doug for me being on that cruise, and it was really a great experience. So thank you, Doug. Now get out. Get out. He said he was just leaving. So
that's all right.
Yeah. Somebody asked how the gratuities were distributed. I don't know. Basically the standard line from the cruise companies are your room steward gets some of those gratuities, the dining room staff gets some of those gratuities, and then other people that do stuff for you get those gratuities that may be behind the scenes. It's like hocus pocus. It's a mystery. They tell you that, but nobody gives you like a complete breakdown of what it is. So it's a weird thing.
Exactly.
Ooh, I got the urge to eat olives too now. How about that?
Ooh, Russell, love olives.
Do you like the ripe olives, which are black olives, or do you like the green olives?
I like all olives.
I do too. Do you like it with the pimento?
Mm-hmm.
Nautical Nurse Nancy, are we returning to the old time on Tuesday night? Yeah, we announced that a while ago. We're sliding back into the 9 o'clock slot until we get the urge to try something else. But I think for this run, it'll be Tuesday Night Live. Tuesday Night Live.
Yeah. I mean, so many years now.
Yeah, right. What did we do? 2018? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. So somebody cruised out of Vancouver to take away the Canada stop. That's interesting. We've talked about that, like whether we go back to Seattle or go to Vancouver. So it's pretty wild.
No casino and 1 bar per deck open. That's right, Wendy. Thank you for reminding me about that. There was only a few bars. Like I think there was only 3 bars that were open on the whole ship.
Brian Carter, has the service really dropped off on NCL? It's hard for me to say because I don't really necessarily like to be served. Like I don't need a lot of interaction. So as long as I have the basic things, I feel pretty comfortable. So I can say that like on the Prima, I had all my basic things.
Right.
I don't remember anybody jumping in through any hoops to do anything. But again, I'm not looking for that. So I don't know, but there has been some, there have been people that said that, the service has changed. I think that is part and parcel with trying to get people back from, the shutdown. The cruise lines are still struggling a little bit to be completely staffed. That's what we saw. I think wasn't it NCL that changed their tattoo policy? Was that NCL?
Yes.
And so I think that could be indicative of trying to open up a broader base of people to pull crew members from. So it could be a situation where they're trying to get as many people as possible cruising. They may be doing it with a skeleton crew. And so, maybe service level is suffering a lot. Again, like I said the other day, to me, cruising's like pizza. When it's, it's good, it's really good. And when it's bad, it's still pretty good. So I can't think, nothing sits in my mind like, oh, this was horrible. So
no, and someone had asked about the Viva. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the Prima.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the longtime NCLers did not like it because it was such change.
A lot of change.
But now when something is new, it just causes a ruckus, just kind of like when the Mardi Gras and the Celebration came out.
Ruckus.
It was a ruckus.
Yeah, it was divergent. Like people that, like I was wandering around the Prima like, wow, this is amazing. Look at this big window, and I love how big this coffee place is. And look at this. This is wild. These venues are a little small, but I wonder how they're gonna. And then you run into somebody that's cruised on NCL a lot, and they're like, this is horrible.
It's the worst ship ever.
Worst ship ever. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, it didn't hit me like that. But Y2 Kiki, thank you so much for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Y2 Kiki. Yeah. Slinky, what's going on?
Aw, Slinky and Matt.
Slinky and Matt. Thank you, Lori, for the kind words. Traveler 02 feels like that the NCL service has gone down dramatically in the last few years. Breakaway 2019 was great, but the getaway in 2022 is awful. Yeah, hopefully it improves over. Hopefully it does like cruise stocks. It sucks for a while and then it gets better as time goes on. So hopefully that's cool.
Well, and I really feel like NCL did have a rough, like you said, with the staff.
Yeah.
Just because if you remember when we came back from the shutdown, they were the ones that would just put out one ship.
Right.
Like every, a month.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly. Question, would you do a 10-day cruise in the Med, then transatlantic back to Florida? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course I would. Which ship are you going on there, Mike? I got no problem with it.
Say like April 2024, yeah.
We booked something. What month is that?
That's not till, I think it's August.
That's the later part of the year,
Yeah.
Luminosa. NCL Bliss from Alaska to Seattle. That was cool, Diana. We were able to hang out of the window and see the NCL Bliss at that hotel. That was
It was pretty cool. That was the best thing about that hotel. Maybe that's why I enjoyed that hotel. Because I felt like I was on the ocean already.
It was kind of cool. Martin Wandry, thank you so much for the super chat. Have a corner aft suite on the Carnival Spirit in May of 2024. How was the internet? I don't know if the Spirit's on the list of Starlink. I feel like they had Starlink. It was fine. So
Alaska's rough anyway, though.
Alaska's rough. Because sometimes when you're cruising that inside passage and stuff, it's hard to get internet. This is what I do when, like, I refuse to get frustrated over the internet. So on the very first day, I get a sense of whether the internet's going to be sufficiently fast or not. And I have T-Mobile, which I don't know if that's a good provider or not a good provider, but what's worked out really well for me is every country that I've gone to, they've given me 5 gig worth of data. And if I know that the internet's slow on the ship, then I will pre-make my shows. And then once I get into port, I'll go on to the cell service. So excuse me, I'll move my show from the laptop or from my MacBook over to my phone, and then I will upload it to YouTube from my phone using the cell service. Or if that's not an option and I know it's going to take all night for me to upload my video, then I will upload my video that way. So I didn't have any problem. Everything I wanted to upload on the Spirit, I did. I did take a couple days off on the Spirit, but I uploaded some stuff in port. I think you'll be fine. I don't know what kind of work that you have to do, but if you're like checking email or trying to do WhatsApp or something like that, I think you're going to be fine on the Spirit.
Yeah. So Retrosage is back. What kind of dogs are the boys?
They're snickerdoodles.
Snickerdoodles?
No, I don't know. What are they, bro?
Or labradoodles?
Labradoodles? I don't know.
Golden doodles?
That's right. Billy Page, thank you so much. I don't know if I said thank you to Billy Page for the super sticker. And Minnesota Mickey with another super chat. Wow, thank you. I hate to say this, but if you've ever had a DUI, Canada won't allow you in, so that shortstop would be okay. Asking for a friend, ha ha ha. Yeah, that's true. Like, Canada has some interesting laws that if you have some sort of, like, I don't know, it's a DUI. I don't know if that's a felony or not, but yeah, they check your record and may not let you in.
Right, and there's something.
Golden Doodles, my brother says.
There's a website that you can go to and
check
with that.
Check.
Golden Doodles.
Carlos Sr., what happened to the hat you wore when you started back in 2018? It's on a shelf at home. That hat is called Old Blue.
Old Blue.
And sometimes I'll put him on sometimes and dance around. Yeah, like Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, in your sweatpants.
In my sweatpants. When you place it on his head, he began to dance around. What cruise line would you recommend for a first-time cruise? Latina, it depends what you like. So do you like a party? Do you like entertainment? Do you like a food? Like, you got to kind of work on your cruising profile a little bit. I would say very simply, if you like a lively party atmosphere, I would go on Carnival for my first cruise. If you want something that's a little more laid back, that is kind of entertainment focused, I might go on Royal Caribbean. I would start with one of those big lines, Royal, Carnival, NCL. That's going to give you a really broad flavor of what cruising is like. And they're all similar. You're going to get similar things. But one of them is, Carnival's a little more party-centric. I would say NCL's kind of in the middle. Royal's a little laid back. But I would start with one of those.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I agree with what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We got 1,246 likes. Look, we got 3 minutes
awesome.
left. I think we can get to 1,300. Man, you guys have showed so much love. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. I know it's been a minute since we've been here.
I know. We missed you guys so much.
We should be at home. Like, we don't have anything scheduled to do anything really through July and August. We have some stuff that we have to do when it comes to like the admin behind the scenes tax, crap, the unfun part of the business. So we're going to try to work on that, some merchandise, stuff like that. We're going to try to work on that stuff for the next couple months and then get back out and travel. Maybe we'll do a day trip or something like that. But yeah, so we should be here. I guess that's the long way to say, look, I got some changes coming up. So be prepared for big change next Monday. That's all I can say at this moment.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
But
wait for it.
But one thing that won't change is that we should be here at least for the next few weeks here on Tuesday night, 9 p.m. If you want extra content, the Patreon has a live show that should happen every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. And again, more interesting stuff coming. But yeah, it's good to see everybody out. It's been a minute and a lot of great questions. If we didn't get to your questions, sorry. It's tough. Try to throw them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. But then we'll do this again next week. So if you have a question, save it and come back. George in Atlanta, thank you so much for the super chat. With an average rating on Cruise Critic of 2.6 out of 5 on the MSC Seascape, what level of hell should I expect? I had a great time on the MSC Seaside. Look, this is my opinion, George. If you go in with a good attitude and say you're going to have fun, then you should be fine.
Right.
But if you're letting this already taint your cruise experience, you could be in trouble. So I would just say clear your mind and say, look, a day on the sea is better than a day on land, and have a fantastic time.
And what? MSC does it good. Yeah. And it's just a little different than what we are all used to. So you have to remember those reviews are coming from North Americans when they are a European company.
Yeah, it's different. It's definitely different than a Carnival or a Royal, but I think it's different in a good way, but not everybody agrees with that. But again, I think it's up to you to make whatever out of... I'm assuming you didn't get it for free, so you booked it. So don't be looking at the reviews after you booked it.
You're going to have a great time.
You're going to have a great time. You made the choice.
Their ships are beautiful.
So go have a good time.
Their entertainment is great. Their casinos are good.
Yeah. Yeah, Carla, that's it.
Their coffee is probably their coffee is actually probably the best out at sea.
Carla figured it out. I'm getting LASIK surgery on
Carla!
Thursday. Getting LASIK surgery on Thursday and shaving my beard. Changes. All right, guys. Wow, we're at the top of the hour. This went quick. Mickey's ready to come to Florida. You don't want to come here, Mickey. It's too
not right
stupid
now.
Hot.
It is so hot.
Exactly. All right. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Hope everybody is doing great out there. Thank you guys for all the continued support. Thanks for watching the videos. And stay tuned because change is coming. There's a hard rain gonna fall. Thank you guys so much. My name's Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
We are La Lita Loca. And until the next time.
We'll see you on the Lido.
We'll see you on the Lido.
Bye.
Bye.